Hey guys, welcome back. It's Sam I am here. I'm here to bring you a look at the new items for Season 3. I did try to do one of these videos already, but quite honestly, it was terrible. So, yeah, here's hoping this one is better. I'm gonna do this in 5 sections. One for AD carry, top, mid, jungler, and support. So, if I can get annotations working, they'll be on the screen right now. Otherwise, just look around in the video. Okay, so first I'll be doing AD carry. Longsword is a bit cheaper. Builds into Vamp Scepter, which gives attack damage and lifesteal. Doran's Blade. It gives life on hit now instead of lifesteal, so 5 health every hit, and that's equivalent to the lifesteal you would get on about 166 attack damage. Yeah. Magic's Razor. I don't think this is going to be an AD carry item, more of a jungle. Vamp Scepter, Pickaxe. It got cheaper. Basically all AD and AP got cheaper. Sword of the Occult got cheaper. Brutalizer, same price. Higher attack damage. Hex Drinker. I think the magic resist got buffed slightly. It looks like it got buffed slightly, but same price. Phage. 20 extra health, 2 extra attack damage, and it costs an extra 100 gold. Slight nerf, I think. BF Sword. Cheaper. Good. Executioner's Calling. 25 attack damage, 15% critical strike. This is a nerf overall, because it doesn't give so much lifesteal anymore. It used to give 18%, which was close to a full Bloodthirster, so it was a good cheap lifesteal item. And it had an active that inflicted grievous wounds for 8 seconds. Now basic attacks inflict it for 1.5 seconds, so if you keep auto-attacking them, they can't heal, basically. Although it does build out of Avarice Blade, which is good. GP10, right? Builds Water Cutlass, not really an AD carry item in my opinion. Mana Moon. It's basically the same thing, except it caps at 750, and it will transform into a different item at 750 mana, the Mura Mana, which has a toggle which drains mana but deals extra damage. Last Whisper. It's slightly cheaper. It's been nerfed slightly, the percentage, but since they are using the new formula, I think overall it's a buff. The new formula being percentage followed by flat penetration. Atma's Impaler, not really an AD carry item. Zeke's Herald, this is slightly better overall. 250. It gives attack damage instead of attack speed now, but still not really a AD carry item. More of a support item that helps an AD carry. Same Guiznews, not really. Yomo's not really. Zephyr has the potential on some people. It's sort of like the AD equivalent of Nashor's Tooth. Gives attack damage, attack speed, move speed, and cooldown reduction. And tenacity, which is really nice. So it could be good on maybe Corki, Ezreal, people who use their spells a lot. Blade of the Ruined King. This sorta has potential. Although I think it'll be better on bruisers than on AD carries, in my opinion. Black Cleaver. This is no longer really an AD carry item. It's more for people, except maybe I've heard it said that it's good on MF, because it applies on her ultimate. But basically it's good for people who have AoE abilities, or anyone who has Tiamat. Bloodthirster. It's the same thing, except they've given you 10 free stacks, basically. Although the lifesteal was nerfed by 2, but it starts with 70 instead of 60, and you get 10 less stacks. Malmortius? I thought I heard this was buffed, but it looks pretty much the same as the last time I looked at it. Frozen Mallet, slightly more expensive, same as Phage. I think this probably won't be an AD carry item. Gunblade. there are so many wasted stats on here on an AD carry. Not worth it. Eye Edge, same thing. They lowered the attack damage by, I think it used to be 80, and same price, so very slight nerf. Mercurial Scimitar. This is a very nice item. It upgrades from Quicksilver Sash, which was always a AD carry defensive item if you're getting CC'd. It now gives 60 attack damage, along with the Quicksilver. If your champion is melee, they get 50% bonus move speed for a second. Not really for AD carries. I don't think that 50% move speed is going to be all that useful. It's just a little nice thing to have. Triforce. Phage got more expensive. It overall got more expensive a little bit. The move speed got nerfed because Zeal move speed got nerfed. And Phantom Dancer. But it's still pretty strong move speed. It looks like the attacks... No, that's the same attack speed. Sorry. Okay, now to Critical Strike. Brawler's Glove. Same thing, I think. Might have been 10 before. Cloak of Agility, nerfed slightly from 18. Avarice Blade, nerfed from 12. This is a great item, in my opinion. You get GP 10, you get gold per kill, and look what it upgrades into. Executioner's Calling, which is a decent item against, say, Mundo or Vlad. Static Shiv, I'll talk about that later, down here, but it's a really great item. Atmos Impaler, and Yomos Ghostblade. So, just so many build paths from this thing. Zeal, movement speed nerfed. I think the other two stats were nerfed a little bit as well. Executioner's Calling, I already talked about. Sword of the Divine. I think it gives 45% attack speed. When it's on cooldown, it does. You get no stats from it, so you lose this. But champion kills reduce the cooldown by 50%, and you get, when you activate it, you get 100% attack speed and 100% critical strike chance for 3 seconds, or 3 critical strikes, whichever comes first. So, probably the 3 critical strikes is gonna come first, just if you're attacking. But this is pretty good, I would say. Like, maybe not on 80 carries, per se, because they're already building quite a lot of attack speed and critical strikes, so this might be wasted. But it's a good item. For anyone who builds a ton of AD, like Talon or Riven, it's going to be quite good. Atmos Impaler, not really. Static Shiv. Okay. 40% attack speed, 20% critical strike, and 6% move speed. It's basically like Phantom Dancer, only it's got this passive. Moving and attacking builds charges. At 100 charges, your attack expends the charges to deal 100 magic damage up to 4 targets. This is the old Ionic Spark passive. Only slightly changed because it has this 100 charges mechanic. This is great. It means if you're kiting, you will be getting extra damage. AoE damage as well. This is going to be... Well, let me just talk about the boots first. They have these enchantments. One of the enchantments for whenever you deal single target damage, so basically when you basic attack or do a single target spell, you gain 12% move speed that decays. So this combined with that is going to make kiting on an AD carry so strong. Like Ashe, this is a huge buff for Ashe because she's just kiting so much anyways. Yomos Ghostblade, again, not really an AD carry item. Phantom Dancer, 5% attack speed nerf, significant move speed nerf. Move speed is the same as Zeal, but now it ignores unit collision. I think this might potentially make the optimal AD carry build be Eye Edge, Zeal, and then in your last Whisper, instead of, with a Vamp Scepter thrown in, instead of finishing your Phantom Dancer before your third item. I'm not sure. I think it might be an interesting possibility, though. Okay, attack speed. I've talked about most of these. Berserker Greaves, 5% attack speed nerf. And all boots got nerfed, but base attack base move speed's gotten buffed, so that's pretty good. Recurve bow. So there's not really anything you want to... Oh no, sorry. Well, it got nerfed, and also it builds into the Ruan's Hurricane. Gives 70% attack speed, and your basic attacks fire little bolts that deal 50% of your attack damage and apply on-hit effects. So this is going to be amazing on all on-hit builds like Kog'Maw. It might make Kog'Maw a little bit OP, I'm not sure. We'll have to see how that turns out. Sword of the Divine and Static Shift I already covered. Malady, Wit's End, I don't really think those are going to be part of it. Singer, I already said, it builds into Zephyr, which is quite nice. And Zephyr again. Lifesteal. The only thing you're really going to be building is Vamp Scepter, Bloodthirster, and possibly Blade of the Ruined King. But I don't know. Now on to defense. There's the things I think AD carries are going to be getting is, of course, Guardian Angel. It revives your champion upon death with 30% of your health and mana. The stats got nerfed though, which is sad. 30% of, say, 2,000 health on an AD carry, maybe slightly less, but whatever. We'll say 2,000 for ease. That's 666 health. So that's a slight nerf for AD carries, but for tanks, it's actually a slight buff. So, you know, so-so. I really don't think there's any other items you would get under armor. Magic Resist. I already talked about Mercurial Scimitar. I feel like Maw of Malmortius is not going to be an AD carry item ever anymore, because Mercurial Scimitar is just so much better. There's nothing. Maybe for health. I could potentially see maybe Sivir, because she's got her awesome kiting passive thing. If you get a Frozen Mallet, the boots of base... I'm just calling them boots of kiting, because that's basically what they are. If you combine that with this and her passive, she's going to be able to kite better than Ashe, which is pretty cool. But I don't think this is going to be a standard AD carry item. I think they're going to stay with Mercurial Scimitar and Guardian Angel. So that's it for AD carry itemization, and I'll go on to AP carry in just a minute. Hey guys, I'm back with AP carry itemization. This video is going to be a little bit longer since there is obviously more AP carry itemization. There always has been. So, Amplifying Tome, same thing. Doran's Ring, basically the same thing, except some of the mana regen was shifted onto mana when you kill a minion. Or champion, I suppose, but that doesn't really matter. Kages, same, one less gold regen gen per 10 seconds. Blasting Wand, same thing. Fiendish Codex, slightly nerfed, I think. Not really a big deal. The price went down too, so that compensates for it, I'd say. Hex Check Revolver, same thing. Magi Soul Stealer, same thing. Sheen, very slightly nerfed on the mana. I think that's it. Haunting Guys, nerfed Penetration, same thing. Needlessly Large Rod, same thing. Okay, so now we start getting to the real items. Shard of True Ice. This is an upgrade from Kages. It keeps the GP10, and it has the Mana Manipulator passive aura thing. And it has an active where you surround an enemy in a blizzard that slows... no, you surround an ally that slows enemies. Twin Shadows, the other Kages, well, second Kages upgrade. It's sort of like the old Lichbane a little bit. It gives AP, magic resist, and move speed. But it when you activate it, it's on a 120-second cooldown, so 2 minutes. It summons Scouting Ghosts that search the nearest 2 champions, and I've heard that the range is about this big, like the walls of your base, but I have not tested it yet. Malady. It now has an AP ratio from 20 down to 15 plus 10% of your ability power. Attack speed slightly nerfed, price went up, and there's more total magic reduction, magic resist reduction, but it takes more stacks to get there now. The last Kages upgrade, Morello Onomon, whatever. It's Morello's Evil Tome. except that instead of having an active that reduces healing, when you do magic damage to them and they have lower than 40% health for 4 seconds instead of 8. Void Staff, exact same thing. Nerfed penetration to compensate for the new calculations, and slight nerf to ability power. Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, this is for AP junglers really, only. Banner of Command, it's promote on an item, and also gives nearby allies and minions, I think, increased health regen, and makes the allied minions deal 15% increased damage. It's for pushing. Rule of the Ancients, same thing. Gnasher's Tooth, reduced CDR, I think the same ability power, maybe? Lower mana regen. Wisnu's Rageblade, this really isn't an AP carry item. Abyss of Scepter, though, it has been nerfed on all fronts. Well, not all fronts, but the ability power and the magic resist have been nerfed. The passive is still the same. Archangel Staff has been lowered in costs. Total mana increase is lower. However, once you get it fully stacked, also it's been changed to work with toggles and stuff, but once you get it fully stacked, it upgrades for free to an item that allows you to shield yourself. It costs 25% of your current mana and heals you for that much. Athene's Unholy Grail, the other mana item. It's basically the same thing. I think the ability power got nerfed slightly. Still really good item if you're a mana hungry mage. Rod of Ages, lower cost, lower mana, same ability power. And the Catalyst proc, Catalyst and this thing have had their proc on level proc nerfed. Liandre's Torment, upgrade from Haunting Guise. This is pretty good. It gives more ability power, more health, same magic pen, and dealing spell damage burns them by 5% of their maximum health for over 3 seconds. Sort of like a mini brand passive. It's basically Blackfire Torch from the PvE, and on this item, the Haunting Guise item. Also, if they have their movement impaired, so that slows, stuns, suppresses, roots, everything, I think, except attack speed, slows, silences, and blinds, then they will take increased double damage. Rylai's Scepter is now lower cost, 500 health, 80 ability power. I think this is really good. It just got better for no reason. These items actually combine really well, because dealing spell damage slows them, and also does this thing, which will deal double damage if they're slowed. Pretty cool, right? Oh, also this thing has half duration for AoE and damage over time effects. Lichbane, lower cost, that's good. Gives same amount of ability power, less mana, I think, less move speed. Although generally all move speed items have been nerfed. Also, it has been changed from 100% of your ability power as as physical damage to 50 plus 75% of your ability power as magic damage. I think this is overall a slight nerf, but it wasn't being used very much before, so I think now it might see more use, which is a good thing. Deathfire Grasp, it's been completely changed. It doesn't build out of Kajes anymore. It uses a needlessly large rod, and instead of having just just the health shred, it's 15% of the champion's maximum health. It used to be current, so this is a slight buff, although there's no AP ratio attached. And then they take 20% amplified magic damage for 4 seconds. Zhonya's Hourglass is the same thing. I think it might be slightly cheaper or slightly more expensive, maybe. Rabadon's Deathcap, 400 gold cheaper, 20 less ability power. So, approximately, you lost an amplifying totem of ability power. You lost that much cost. But the ability power increase has gone down from 35 to 25%. This is a huge nerf. Iceborne Gauntlet is not really AP carry, neither is Triforce. They're both Sheen upgrades, by the way. Hextech Gunblade is pretty cool. It is definitely a hybrid item, not AP carry, but maybe like a Kali, Katarina. 45 attack damage, 65 ability power, 10 down from 20 lifesteal, 20% spellbound. It has this active, 150 plus 40% of your ability power. This is pretty cool. It gives people an extra spell, which is nice. If you combine this with DFG, it's pretty cool, because you have like a ton more burst. So this might actually be viable on like LeBlanc, just to have the extra ability power ratio. I'm not sure. And also basic attacks and single target spells against champions reduce the cooldown by 3. So on Jax or someone who attacks really fast, this could be OP. Now to CDR. The only ones I think are going to be used are Fiendish Codex, Boots of Lucidity, and Morello Canonicon, and Deathfire Grasp. Oh, and Athene's Grail. Okay, maybe I should have said only. But those are the ones that are going to be used. I don't think any of the physical damage or the Nashor's Tooth is going to be used very often. And this thing is generally for junglers, AP junglers. Spellbound. Revolver, jungler item, Will of the Ancients, Gunblade, and Gwynsu's. Gwynsu's is sort of cool now. 4% attack speed and 4 ability power, 8 stacks, falling below 50% health. Oh, also that's a passive, not a unique passive, that's cool. But falling below 50% health grants you 20% attack speed, 10% lifesteal, and 10% spellbound. This is pretty cool. In combination with Gunblade, this could be really nice. Mana. Tear of the Goddess, for mana-hungry people. Catalyst, for people who want to go Rod of Ages. So that's quite a lot of people. Sheen. Banshee's Veil, if you need the defense. Archangels, Rod of Ages, Lichbane. It's pretty much stuff I've already covered. Mana regen, same thing. Pretty much all stuff I've covered. And now to boots. Obviously, Boots of Speed are really good. Boots of Lucidity are quite good. Sorcerer's Shoes are still quite good. Although they have been nerfed to 15 Magic Pen. I think this might be... I've always liked Lucidity Boots, so this is cool. Now they're slightly better in comparison. I'm not sure if I talked about Boots upgrades in the last section, because I did that like an hour ago. But I'll just talk about it again in case I haven't. 15 extra move speed, just flat, which is pretty cool. It's the cheapest one. It might be good on some people. Although I would say Distortion, which is actually the same price, is better. Reduces flash cooldown, ghost, teleport by 25%. So that's really nice. Furor. This is when you attack or deal single target spells, you gain 12% bonus move speed that decays over 2 seconds. This is amazing on 80 carries, because they can kite so well with this buff, with this upgrade. It might also be good on, like, maybe Cassiopeia or Rise, who have spammable single target spells, so that they can actually chase, instead of being stupidly slow late game. Captain. Allied champions running towards you get increased move speed, and minions get additional move speed. I suppose you would get these on like a tank who needs to be able to initiate, and then people are running towards him into the fight, or to help people escape with their Shurelya's combined with this, maybe? I'm just gonna get Boots of Swiftness for this. Whatever. Oh, also Boots of Swiftness got slow resist, which is pretty cool. Not really an AP carry thing, but it's pretty cool. And then Home Guard. Basically, when you're at the fountain and you have been out of combat for 8 seconds, you instantly get your health restored. So if you recall, that's an instant health restore, and you run really fast. 200% move speed, which decays over 8 seconds. So, it's to get to lane faster. It's pretty damn good. If you are in a hard lane and need to get back a lot. Okay. So, I'm going to be moving on from AP carry to support now. Okay, I'm back with support items. So you have Kage's Lucky Pick. This is quite good. It's a GP10 and AP item. It upgrades to Shard of True Ice, which I already talked about in the AP section, but I'll go over it again. It surrounds allies in a blizzard for 4 seconds and slows enemies that get too near to them. Also keeps the GP10 from casualties and gives the mana manipulator aura. Twin Shadows. It spawns wraiths that scout the map for you, approximately the range of your base, like from the fountain to the walls. That's the approximate range. Also gives magic resist, move speed, and ability power. I think the Shroud of True Ice is going to be better on supports. Twin Shadow will be better on... Oh, also if they catch a champion, they slow them. Will be better on AP carries, due to the fact that the AP carry sort of wants like move speed and more ability power, and the slow, the on-demand slow, and the support will want more the mana regen and the supportive aura, and the ability to make their AD carry or whoever slightly better by giving them the slow around them. Then of course there's the standard... I do not like this new shop. It's hard to unselect these things. Okay, whatever. I'll get there through other means. The traditional Philosopher's Stone. It only costs 700, which is nice, because supports can get it faster. But the health regen has been nerfed significantly, although the mana regen has been buffed. Crystalline Flask. This might be good on, it's a refillable potion, by the way. It might be good on supports, because they don't have very much money. I'm not sure though. Sightstone. This is a refillable ward. It's pretty good. It starts with 4 charges. You can only have 2 out at a time. So basically you have 6 minutes of 2 free wards. And then it's refilled once it goes back to shop. Stupid shop. Oh, I see. You just click all items there. Never mind, the shop's fine. Anyways, you can upgrade it to Ruby Sightstone using a Ruby Crystal. It gets 5 charges, and you can have 3 up at a time. And it gives extra health. Other items. The Chalice of Harmony. It now has a sort of support upgrade that is basically a targeted heal and cleanse on the active, and the Chalice of Harmony and extra mana. Oracle's Elixir. Let's just use this. But it lasts only 5 minutes now, so that's a change. Or still until your champion dies. Costs the same amount though. So basically it's a nerf. Down the items. Probably for boots, still it's gonna be Boots of Lucidity or Boots of Mobility, or Merc Treads, I think, will be the preferred support items. Boots. Eliza's Miracle.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Oh, go away, minions. But Heal, Revive, and Clairvoyance cooldowns are reduced by 20%. And if you gain 3 levels while you're holding this item, so basically if you get it before level 15, and then you level up to max, or level up 3 levels, then you get these all these bonuses permanently and get an item slot. I think this is actually going to be really good on, like, AP carries. If they get this early, then they'll basically have extra free stats, and they'll, like, the mana regen. I could be wrong though. I just don't think supports are going to have to worry about item slots. Although, AP carries won't really be taking Heal, Revive, and Clairvoyance. Also Clairvoyance got a bit better, I think. So that's nice. As we go down here. Twin Shadows I already talked about. Shurelia's basically the same thing. Slight nerf to CDR, nerf to health regen, nerf to health. But still the same move speed active. That's the important part. Aegis of the Legion. They get extra health regen instead of attack damage, I think all the stats on this were nerfed slightly. But it now has an upgrade. With increased magic resist. A lot increased. I think this might actually be better on tanks than supports, in my opinion. Because now it's actually not a waste of an item slot late game. So I think you'll expect to see tanks getting this item and supports getting more supporty items like Shirelia's. And the Mikhail's Crucible. I think that's going to be like the replacement for Aegis on supports. That's like it's amazing, really. This combined with the upgrade to QSS will make your AD carry like unCCable. Yeah, that's pretty much it for support. They don't actually buy a lot of items, although I suppose they might get some aura items like Zeke's Herald. Gives attack damage instead of attack speed. Otherwise pretty much the same. I think it got nerfed slightly, but not a ton. And where is it? Will of the Ancients. You might potentially get that. But yeah. Okay. Next I'll be doing junglers. Hey guys, I'm back with the jungle items. So, junglers, they basically have to start this item, Hunter's Machete. Basically. Then they usually get 5 health potions, although if you go into utility and you get the extra starting gold mastery, you can get a flask, a crystalline flask, which is really good on Nunu or Cho'Gath who can afford to get it. Cloth armor. This is probably going to be fairly important to pick up early because you need the extra survivability to survive in the new jungle. Boots of Speed also will be quite important to gank. Let's just look at the upgrades to Machete, since this is the biggest thing they put in for junglers. It's the main new jungle item. It upgrades into Madrid's Razors. It takes the place of the Longsword. First let's look at the Machete. 10% increased damage, all damage, including abilities, and basic attacks deal 10 bonus true damage. This one, same thing. Same bonus true damage, and 25% chance to deal magic damage. Same with Wriggle's Lantern. I think this actually got significantly buffed. I think it used to be like 25% to deal 400 magic damage, and it still has the Sight Ward. It loses its true damage if you upgrade it to Wriggles though. Then the other one, Spirit Stone, which is really interesting. It gives mana regen, health regen, increased damage, like including spells. Then you have the upgrades. This one is for AP. It gives AP, Spell Vamp, CDR, and a 25% increased damage. This one is for tanks. It gives health, armor, tenacity. It's pretty damn cool, because this allows you to go Boots of Mobility and still keep your tenacity that you would be getting from Remgens. This one is for AD champions, gives 50 AD, and it gives basically red buff, like as an on-hit, but not the slow, just the damage. I think this is actually the weakest of the three, because tenacity is really strong, like really good. Also gives health and armor, that's a good item. This one is really good because AP junglers don't really have any other items to get, whereas AD junglers have quite a few items to get. I think getting a Wriggle's Lantern would be all around better. Then of course, you might see less Philosopher's Stone on junglers, but I think it's still quite good. Especially on mana-hungry junglers who need the mana regen, and it still goes into Shirelia's. And having more than one Shirelia's on your team can only be good. Although more than 2 is sort of overkill. Sightstone, the refillable ward. I talked about it in my support part. This is going to be quite important on supporty junglers, and Lee Sin and Jax, you have the jump to ward thing. So it's basically 3 wards. This is really cool. Actually, I'll buy it and I'll show you. 3 wards. You can only have 2 placed at a time though. So if you place more wards, it will use up the old ones. And every time you go back to the shop, it is refilled. So as you can see, I can just infinitely place wards, but it's killing the old ones, because you can only have 2 active at a time. And it refills when you're in the platform.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Damn it! Go away. Okay, so Atma's Impaler. This is both a bruiser and jungler item. It upgrades from Avarice Blade, which is a cool gold per 10, instead of what it used to be was Cloak of Agility, I think. So this is really cool, that it builds from a GP10. So, thank you, Riot, for making Atma's Impaler, like, semi-viable now. I mean, it's still not an amazing item to buy, but since it builds from a GP10, it sort of offsets that it's slightly inefficient. Glacial Shroud. It builds into the Sheen proc thing, and Frozen Heart. These are both really good items. They're some of my favorite items as tanky support jungler. The Frozen Heart was. I haven't tried the new one, obviously, since it's new. Warmog's armor on tanky junglers. It has the old Force of Nature passive. It lost its stacking mechanic though. Triforce, still good. Mercurial Scimitar. QSS plus BF Sword. It's going to be pretty good on melee carries like Tryndamere. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be viable. Hey guys, I'm going to go save my turret. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Purple side is really OP, by the way. They're winning for some reason. Frozen Mallet, like Phage, still good. Pretty much the same thing. Randuin's Omen, no longer built out of Heart of Gold, it was removed. They replaced that with Giant Spell. So I think this is a huge nerf, since you no longer have the easy build back. Also, just the base stats were nerfed, and the health was buffed since it's a Giant Spell now. But the armor was nerfed, and the passive was nerfed. So yeah, that's sort of unfortunate. It's not as good anymore. It's still a decent item. Black Cleaver, I don't know, on AoE physical damage dealing junglers might be good. Same as in top lane. Blade of the Ruined King could be good. Oh shit, minions are OP. Whoa, no! Okay, I apologize if I lose this game too fast to finish this. Blade of the Ruined King could be good. Basically, all the items that are good in top are going to be good on at least some junglers. But the main new jungle items are the stuff that build from Machete, the ward item, the Crystalline Flask, and Philosopher's Stone, maybe. Oh, and Aegis. Aegis is going to be really good on junglers. I cannot stress this enough. If your top is not getting Aegis, the jungler should be getting it. This should not be left to the support to get. It's better on tanks. So yeah, that's pretty much... Oh, also boots for junglers. I said you can get mobility now because you get the free tenacity from the spirit of the golem. You could also go boots of speed. They're faster now, and they also get slow reduction. So if there are a lot of people with slows on the enemy team, you might want to get this. It doesn't reduce the duration, but it reduces how much you're slowed by. As for upgrades, this is decent, 15 extra move speed, especially if you're going swiftness. This will just give you so much extra move speed, and if you've got move speed quintessences, most junglers take that. It's pretty good. Fure might be good. I'm not sure. Captain, if you're a supporty jungler, like I said, increase move speed to allies. That's nice.
I will blaze a trail.
And Home Guard. These let you recall a lot more and get back to the jungle faster. I think these are probably going to be the preferred. These and mobility are going to be the preferred ones because it allows you to go home and get back really fast. And since you're going to be taking damage in ganks and taking damage from the jungle, I think that's quite important. Okay guys, next I'm going to be doing top items. Hey guys, back with items for top lane champions. So, boots. Probably Ninja Tabby or Merc Treads, like before. Boots of Swiftness on very few champions, like I've heard it said that it's good on Garen and Singed. Cloth Armor is going to be a staple. Magic Mantle, just defensive stats. Okay, so as starting items, Doran's Blade. It's been slightly nerfed on AD carries since it's not lifesteal anymore. It's on a hit. It's life on a hit, but it's better on tops because they weren't doing as much base damage anyways. Also, Doran's Shield blocks 6 damage from champion basic attacks. This is I cannot stress enough how incredible this item is. Combined with the masteries, it could reduce your the damage taken from basic attacks by up to 11. Also, on a Mumu, that's 21 reduced damage with your maxed E. So I think he might be a viable top again, which would be cool. He's one of my favorite champions. Of course, Avarice Blade builds into Atma's Impaler and Yomo's Ghostblade, both strong items on melee carries and tanks, respectively. Giant's Belt, it builds into the useful Randuin's Frozen Mallet and Warmog's Armor. Warmog's Armor, it has the Old Force of Nature passive. It's cheaper, but lost the stacking. Frozen Mallet is the same thing, slightly more expensive. Randuin's Omen, it's basically the same thing. It got nerfed quite a lot, though. The stats, the passive, and the armor. Negatron Cloak. Now we get to the cool stuff. Spirit Visage. This increases all healing on you by 20%. Gives more magic resist than before, more cooldown than before. This is pretty cool on anyone who has healing. Like Mundo, of course, Shogath. It's just Warwick. It's quite cool on quite a lot of champions. Mercurial Scimitar. On melee carries, this item is incredible. One of their biggest problems is getting CC'd to death. Now they have that, the Quicksilver Sash, combined with attack damage, combined with extra move speed on the QSS when you activate it. If you're melee, not for a range, because that would be a little bit OP. Recurve Bow still builds into Wit's End, which is still really good. Slightly nerfed though. Sword of the Divine is going to be really good on really high attack damage champions like Riven and Talon, because, okay, let's say Talon has 400 damage. If you crit 3 times and attack really fast, that's 2400 extra damage before armor. Normally, Talon would be getting off about 2 normal attacks in this time, so that's 800 damage that you subtract for that. That's still an extra 1600 damage. And the attack speed passive is, the base stats are removed when it's on cooldown, but champion kills reduce the cooldown by 50%. So if you're using this as a burst thing and it succeeds, you get a kill, it's a decent item. Elijah's Miracle you might get, maybe, if you've got one of these 3 spells. It's basically the same stuff. Sightstone is good on tops. Really good. Executioner's Calling might be good. No, actually they removed the lifesteal, so I would say it's not quite as good anymore. Yeah, Aegis, if your jungler isn't getting it, into Runic Bulwark, which is the upgrade for Aegis. Most of these items I've already talked about before, sorry, so if you want to see them, go watch the other parts of this video, so, wherever I talked about them. Thornmail, increased price, same stats. Tiamat, it might be good on melee carries. Tiamat, and then Ravenous Hydra, which is the lifesteal upgrade for it. So passive, the damage works with lifesteal now. So 60% of your attack damage in about the same radius as the old Tiamat. The old Tiamat was criticized for having a tiny range. Now, it has a much bigger range, like more than double, I think. I'm not sure, but I think at least double. And it decays down to 20% near the edge. So in the old radius, it'll still be dealing the same damage, but near the edge, it will be dealing significantly less. These are sort of jungle items. I don't think anyone's really going to be getting this. Heimerdinger as a top might get this. Zeke's Herald, this might be a decent item. Sunfire Cape, I've never been a fan of this item. Ever, really. Its price went down, but I still don't think I'm going to be getting it on many people. Maybe a movement, but I prefer to just go Frozen Heart and stuff. Guardian Angel. This item got significantly better for tanks, since it was increased from a flat amount to 30% of your maximum health and mana. So this is worse on AD carries who have low health and mana, but better on tops. Blade of the Ruined King, I think this is quite good on tops. So is the Black Cleaver, since it applies on spells as well. So if you have a bunch of physical spells, especially if they're AoE physical spells, that's going to be pretty good. But, oh yeah, Triforce is still good. It was good before, it's good now. Damn it, this monster is hard. But yeah, in terms of, yeah, I think that's it for top lane itemization. So that's the end of this video. If you want, I could do a video on Twisted Treeline and the Dominion and Proving Grounds, although that's sort of dumb, items if you want. So leave a comment below the video, and if you want to see that, and I will make those videos for you. Okay, that's it, bye.